Have you ever looked at the stars and thought, hey, I wanted to be a constellation? Well, you might be a Circle of the Stars Druid. What is a Circle of the Stars Druid? So, basically, Eve has gladly played Circle of the Stars Druid. I plan on bringing a character, like I have ideas for a character that is Circle of the Stars Druid. And I just wanted to go over and talk about the abilities. The intro might sound familiar if you guys have seen the You Might Be a D&D channel, which got me inspired to attempt to do one of these. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. Please check him out. He does a lot more better quality content than even I do. Like, I cannot present this super well. Uh, hey, you might be in D&D. If you ever watch this somehow, probably not, but if you do, uh, hey, you're doing amazing content, man. And hey, maybe you'll do this video, but better. That shows the confidence that I have.
I
Anyway,
feel
uh, Eve, but yeah, Eve got to play it during one of our campaigns. I believe we stopped at 12th level, but we're gonna go through all the abilities and talk about them. Uh, Basically, so how his videos go is we go through each level. Uh, so at level 1 for Druid, which they just get normal spellcasting stuff as well as an extra language of Druidic. Basically, you could speak to plants and animals, or like plants and animals, except you can't actually speak to them. Yeah, this Druidic might be more confusing than thieves can't. That rogues can. Am I wrong?
you're not wrong.
Anyway, so we're gonna be pushing the second level where you get wild shape. Wild shape you can turn into animals that are CR 1/4 or lower, but we're not gonna worry about that.
There's also a optional class feature at second level.
Oh yeah, he goes over the second level. What does this one do? Oh, you
It
summon a
gives you
spirit.
a pet, basically, or a spirit or whatever.
Hmm, interesting. I never thought about doing that. But anyway, for Circle of the Stars Druid, we get first ability we get is the star map. This might be one of the most impressive parts of this subclass right away. Because, for one, it gives you the guidance cantrip for free. And I will arguably say that guidance might be the best out of combat cantrip in the game. Sure, 1d4 doesn't seem like much, but it's for any ability check that 9 times out of 10, DMs are gonna allow you to use it as a reactionary thing. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. But that's not all this gives you. This also gives you the guiding bolt cantrip prepared on your spell list that
It's not a
doesn't
cantrip. It's a spell. It's
spell.
first level.
First level spell that does not count against for the ones that you are prepared. As
And
well
you
as you get it for free up to a certain number of times equal to your proficiency. This is really good. Just for the fact of, if you thinking about it deeper, Eve, think deeper. Nah.
I don't think deeper. I don't think.
This practically gives you an extra, at level 1, 2 extra spell slots for a good level 1 spell. Like, sure, Guiding Bolt isn't the best level 1 spell, but
It's
decent
pretty good if
damage.
you upcast it, though,
Well, you can't with this.
damage wise. I know, but like when you cast it by itself.
Oh, right. But still, good damage, and allows your allies to be able to hit fast even better. And I view it as, like, this is very efficient spell casting, because now you have, now
It's
you
really,
have 5 spell slots at level
it's really
1.
good.
Sure,
It's really good for if you fucking are struggling to hit. You know what I mean?
right. These are all the options down below. Flavor is flavor, so it's whatever you want to have it be. I think for mine, I think I'm probably going to go for probably a scroll-covered depictions of how do you pronounce that word?
Constellations.
Constellations. Is that how you spell it?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't realize it was so long. But anyway, now we get the
If I remember
big
right, Neothyrus was a crystal that projects starry patterns when placed before a light.
ah. Now we have star reform. This is the feature that makes you don't have to worry about wild shape because it uses your wild shape features. So close that monster book. You do not need to worry about it because you're not turning into anything from the book. Basically, you get three different options of celestial forms that you can swap to as a bonus action, as well as you give a radius of light, and these forms last for 10 minutes. So we have the Archer form, which basically gives you bonus action, well, an attack. The Chalice form, which gives you extra healing for your healing spells. And then Dragon, which helps you concentrate on concentration spells, as well as when you make an intelligence or wisdom check. It's no matter what, going to be, if you roll a 9 or lower, it's an automatic 10 on a d20. The Chalice form I look at and see this expands your spells even further. Because, and Eve, you never used the Chalice form.
No, I only used the archer.
Right. Which, honestly, of the three, Archer is probably the worst, but it's still good. Like, giving you...
It's still good because like you can still cast a ranged spell and
Right.
then basically shoot an arrow.
Right. The Chalice form, think of it like this. So, how much do you know the Cure Wound spell, right? How much does it heal normally?
I think it's a D8.
1d8 plus your wisdom modifier, or
Yeah,
whatever spellcasting modifier it is for your class.
yeah.
For Druid, it's wisdom. This
Which of
heals
course
one. This
finds
heals
wisdom and
1d8
stuff.
wisdom. So basically, you're getting whenever you cast Cure Wounds once on an ally, it's basically allowing you to cast another Cure Wounds, which is even better because this actually extends to 30 feet from you, and it doesn't have to be on the same target. So I consider that as basically doubling at least 3 of your spell slots, which you can use for healing. So at level 1, or not level 1, level 2, you got 2 free first levels from Guiding Bolt, and then each of your regular level spells are doubled if you use them for healing spells. Heck, you could use it for Healing Word and then have a Cure Wounds to back up the healing. And you're adding your wisdom modifier twice, so it's a guaranteed, at the very least, because like you're a druid, you should have at the very least 3 plus 3 or higher. The chalice is pretty good, but the dragon, druids have a lot of concentration spells.
Hmm. Most of their spells
Especially,
are concentration.
and for example, for all the summoning spells out there, the dragon is I would argue the dragon constellation is better than the summoner druid, because this helps you keep concentration, especially for those elemental ones. The ones that, if you lose concentration, they will be aggressive against you, which I believe Druid gets. The dragon is your pick. And later on, well, we'll talk about it later. So yeah, level 2. Wow. 2 fantastic features early. Like, both of them are good. Like, really good. Level 3 you don't get much, except for second level spells. Level 4 is just an ability score improvement. Level 5 you get third level spells.
There's a fourth level optional class feature also.
Oh, is there? What is that feature? Oh, just
It's called Cantrip Versatility. I don't remember what it does
oh,
because
just
I
replace
don't have
it
fire right now.
replaces one of your cantrip with another druid cantrip. Now we have Cosmic Omen, which I know for a fact you did not use this.
Yeah, because I kind of forgot it existed.
But basically, you roll a die, and basically, until you finish on your next long rest, you get a special reaction that is based on whenever you roll. If it's a wheel, an even number, Whenever a creature within you can see within 30 feet of you make an attack roll, save throw, or ability check, you can use a reaction to roll a d6 and add that number to the total, or roll an odd number. You do the opposite, where you can subtract a d6. You can use this reaction up equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended usages after a long rest. This is this could be handy. This could definitely help with landing a good saving throw against an enemy. I think low is better than even in certain regards, but that more depends on the situation. I think low is definitely the better though. And this is
Yeah, it is, especially with enemies.
right. And a d6 is pretty impactful.
Yeah. Other than druids don't really want to be super close to enemies. It's pretty good.
But also, what are they using for the reaction normally? Druids don't get that many reactions.
Pretty much none.
Like,
Because
I think they get access to absorb elements. Maybe. Yeah.
yeah, they do. They get absorb elements, and I think that's it. They don't get silvery barbs.
I know they don't get shield,
Don't get shield.
but yeah.
Um,
Level 7, you just get 4th level spells. 8 is another ability score improvement.
and wild shape improvement.
Right. You do get wild shape improvement. Except we're not worrying about wild shape because we have the starry form.
Mm-hmm.
Now, level 10. Twinkling Constellations. All
I
of your
didn't use this either.
all of your four well, you did
True.
unintentionally. Basically, all your constellation forms in your starry form are improved or boosted. The archer gets an extra d8. The chalice
So does the
gets
sailor.
the chalice becomes 2d8 healing. And then with your dragon, you gain a flying speed of 20 feet and can hover. Like, this is pretty good. And it only gets better because now, at the start of each of your turns, while in starry form, you can change which constellation you are. Now, the only thing I will say that isn't clear about this ability is if you have to sacrifice another wild shape to swap. But from how it reads, it doesn't seem like it. So Eve, the only thing I would say bad about this subclass before Twinkling Constellations is the fact that you have to know what you're doing beforehand. Because really, you can go dragon form, and after the combat is ended, all your allies are hurt, and like, okay, I'm gonna have to use another wild shape to heal people, right?
Right.
But now you don't have to worry about that because you can just swap it like literally at the start of your turn at no action cost. So you could use you could use the archer form, see that allies are getting like really beat up, become the chalice, top them back off or up, and then swap back to the archer. Like this is really good. This adds a lot more versatility to it. Then you
Right.
and then at level 11 you don't get anything. Level 12 ability score improvement. Level 13 you get 6th level spells. 7th, my bad. 14th level, I believe the final subclass main ability. Full of stars. While you're in starry form, basically you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
There is one more
I
that I think
do
is.
I do want to bring up something though. And this is pretty special. The specific wording is it says bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. This does not say non-magical. So now you're just resisting magical weapon hits, which is pretty good. Really nice. And that's all I have to say for that one. Uh, 15th level, you get 8th level spells. 16 is just an ability score improvement. 17th is ninth level spells. Level 18, here we go. You can
The
cast
fun stuff.
you can you can cast druid spells at any time during using your wild shape, and you can perform somatic and verbal components of a druid spell in beast shape. But you're not but you aren't able to provide material components. This is actually a useless feature for this druid because it doesn't matter. All druids get
Yeah.
this, but it doesn't matter in this case.
There's also an interesting one before that at 18th level 2, Timeless Body, where basically
Oh,
whenever you cast primal magic you age slower, so for every 10 years that pass your body ages 1 year.
that is so flavor.
Right.
And
And like if you're an
wait,
elf
you're
with this, like you just don't age essentially.
that is so bizarre. That being a thing. Ninth level is just the ability score improvement.
19th, you mean?
Yeah, I said 19th.
You said ninth.
No, I said 19th.
I only heard the
Anyway,
ninth.
now we
Anyway,
have one of the best extension features for the druid, Arch Druid. You can use your wild shape on an unlimited amount of times. Now, well, as well as any material components that lack a cost do not consume by the spell, and you can ignore verbal somatic components. This doesn't look big on paper for this druid, but do you know what that means, having unlimited wild shapes?
what?
You have a limited amount of starry forms.
True.
Like, normally for druid, before you get to 20th level, like, I'll rewind it back one, and then, oh, I gotta pick a race. I'll just click one. Let's go with this. Just so it'll show on video. Scroll down to, actually, is under probably under actions. Yeah, for the entire game up to this point, you only have 2 wild shapes. They come back on short rest, but your party's not going to short rest all that often. But once you hit 20th level, once you get the capstone ability, you can do this an infinite amount of times, which also means, because if you look at the ability Starry Form, it does not say you can't turn into a beast while in Starry Form. It just says you take a Starry Form rather than transforming into a beast. So, and I know specific beasts aren't that great because you're not a moon druid, but there's probably a good number of options you could pick while in a certain Starry Form. You can give, let's say, a dire wolf a flying speed with the draconic constellation. Like, that's just only one example. So, yeah. Eve, how do you feel about this subclass?
I really like it. I intend to play it again eventually.
I love all the abilities. Even, I would say the weakest ability is Cosmic Omen, but even then, it's good. Like, there's not a feature on this druid that I would say is bad.
I mean, Timeless Body is kind of pointless in some races.
Here's the thing. This is not a subclass ability. Don't worry about that.
True.
I'm only talking about the subclass. So 14th, 10th, 6th, and 2nd. But yeah, I think my favorite feature about this is is probably just the starting map is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Like late game, it's 6 guiding bolts. Yeah,
How many damn guiding bolts, man?
that's That's pretty good. You're practically able to just, hey, you get a guiding bolt, you get a guiding bolt, we all get guiding bolts. Like, if this is like, you can be a blaster druid. That's what you really were during Surface campaign. You were the blaster druid.
Hmm.
You know, archer form guiding bolt. But really,
Yeah.
I think moral of the story, this is a good subclass. Really good. Do I think it's better than the moon druid? No. Is it better than the other good, really good one, shepherd druid? Hard to compare. One of the biggest benefits of the shepherd druid is great group healing. Because how their healing works, and I'll do a video on them more detail later, but they can cast a healing spell if or rather if a creature heals in the radius of their spirit totem or whatever it's called, the unicorn one. Everyone in that radius will heal up to however many levels the druid is. Which for a summoning subclass, it's really good. This is definitely that subclass where if your main focus is healing, you are definitely more single target, bigger burst of heals. So anyway, I think that wraps up everything nicely. I hope you all have enjoyed the video, and remember, stay
Okay.
freaking awesome. Eve, have any final words?
When you said that, I said, remember, don't die.
Jesus Christ. Well, hey, hope you all have a good one. Bye bye.